Hi guys, today I want to introduce to you the basic principles of Pilates. We're going to go through the 5 basic principles which relate to body awareness and to good alignment. The principles are very important because they're going to make sure that the exercises that you do are very safe but also very efficient. We want to make sure we activate the right muscle groups and not different muscle groups when we intend to activate specific area of the body. So the 5 basic principles are breathing, pelvic placement, ribcage placement, shoulder stability and mobilization, and the head and the neck placement. So I'm going to jump right in and I'm going to show you the breathing. So let's lie down together on the mat and we're going to inhale through the nose, Pilates breathing. And then breathe out through pursed lips. And then again, inhale through the nose. And as you breathe out, breathe through pursed lips, like you're blowing into a straw. Or you want to blow a line of candles with your mouth. And let's place your base of your hands on your hip bones and the fingers towards your pubic bone. And just at the bottom of your tummy. And we breathe in through the nose again. And as you breathe out through pursed lips, feel how your tummy is drawing away from your fingertips. Go again, inhale. And as you breathe out, feel how your tummy muscles are pulling away from your hands, like your hands are hot. So you can feel how the activation of the tummy is being done when you're breathing out through pursed lips. So this is really why we're doing that breathing. Go again, breathe in and breathe out. Try to de-stress, relax any kind of tension you might have today in your neck, your shoulders, maybe your forehead, and lead that breathing into that area in your body. And as you breathe in, try to open the ribs to the sides and to the back, and let go of the breath out. Again, as you breathe in, open the ribs in the side and the back of the ribs. Normally we breathe into the sternum, into the front ribs, and we try to open the ribs 3-dimensionally like an accordion. So to oxygenate the lungs the most efficiently. Okay, so now let's go into the second principle, which is it's the pelvis, and this is quite important when we're working in Pilates, especially because we are working our tummy quite a lot, our abs, and we're also lifting the feet off the floor, and we need to know how to position our pelvis so there's not going to be any strain in our back. So I invite you in the beginning just to lie down as you normally lie down, and then I want you to rock and roll your pelvis back and forwards like that. So you're arching your back and you're lengthening the lower back down towards the mat, peeling the tailbone off the floor, and then you're arching your back again, yeah? So just go with that, and slowly reduce the range of the movement and try to find a place where you could have put like a glass of water on your tummy and it wouldn't spill. Once you find that place, you can see this is the place I would call neutral throughout the exercises. So this is the place you would want to be in sitting, in standing, in lying down, whatever you do, in most of the exercises, because this is where we activate the very deep abdominal muscles. However, sometimes when we're going to take our feet off the mat, and if you've just started Pilates, or if you feel that your tummy is not strong enough, you would need to go into a different position of the pelvis, which is called imprint. So let's try the imprint. I want you to place your thumbs on your lower ribs and the fingers towards your hip bones. So this is the place where you can feel the distance on both sides of your waistline. Take a breath in through the nose. And as you breathe out, you're going to glide the ribs down towards the hips. I don't know if you can see, I'm going to lift my arms up so you can see that my lower back has lengthened down towards the floor. Yeah, and then inhale, I'm going back into my neutral, where there's a bit of an arch in my lower back. It's not my natural curve. I'm not going to compress it naturally when I go into neutral. But when I go into the imprint position, I do want to do a bit of a lengthening of my lower back towards the mat. So let's try again. Thumbs on the lower ribs, fingers on the hip bones. Breathe in through the nose, and as you breathe out, bring both of the sides closer together by lengthening your ribs down towards the hips. So one of the common mistakes I see here is that people do this. They lift the tailbone off to compress the lower back down instead of using their abdominals to pull the ribs down. So you want to feel a slight activation in your tummy, but your tush is completely relaxed, yeah? Let's test your imprint. So as you imprint, breathe in. Make sure you are in an imprint. Then lift one leg up to tabletop, and then the other leg goes up to tabletop. So the ribs are drawn down. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, we're going to do little toe taps. So take one leg out towards the floor. You can go as low as you can feel that you're not losing it. Can you see how I'm losing it now? Keep the ribs down, tap and lift. Let's do the other side. Tap and lift. Try not to do it from the knee. This is the most common mistake here. Open the hip down, challenge your abdominals. Do the other side. So I can definitely feel my abs here. And I'm really keeping my lower back down. You can do mini toe taps if it's hard for you. It's absolutely fine. Or you can just keep the imprint. You'll be amazed in a few weeks. You would be able to go much further than you're doing now. So don't push yourself too fast. And just relax one foot down and then the other feet down. And then now I'm relaxing my tailbone down, going back into my neutral position. So this is your imprint and your neutral. And we're going to use it quite a lot throughout the exercises. Now let's go into the third principle now, which is the ribs placement. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm naturally poking my ribs forward all the time. I'm really thinking about my ribs placement quite often. And most people would have the same effect of poking the ribs out for all body types whenever they take the arms over the head. So let's try it together. Take the arms all the way over the head with me. And just place your hands down on the floor like you're sunbathing on the beach. Would that be nice? And now I want you to feel the opening through your ribs. So you can feel that you want to arch your back. Yeah, you want to open up. Let's take the arms slightly hovering off the floor and try to pull the ribs down. So don't let your back overarch. I don't want you to compress your back down, but I don't want you to let the back go out of stability. So let's take the hands back up towards the ceiling or the sky. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, take the arms all the way over your head. Breathe out, use the breath to lower the ribs down. And then inhale, go back up. And again, as you breathe out, you take the arms up, but you pull the ribs down by using your obliques. You're using your abdominal muscles. And then inhale to take the arms back up. So imagine like an egg shape. Keep going with this. Just give it a few more moments here. Imagine an egg shape on your front of your tummy. And they're connecting, the egg shape is connecting the right rib to the left hip and the left hip to the right hip. So when you're imprinting, you're connecting the ribs to the hips, you're shortening of the obliques. Yeah. When you're taking the arms over your head, you want to bring those ribs slightly down. You don't want to poke them out. Yeah. So you don't want to do this. You want to keep them where they are. So you can practice it also in sitting. Inhale, come with me, sit up. And as you exhale, take the arms over your head, but keep the ribs down. Don't allow this to happen. And then inhale to take them back forward. Go again. Exhale as you take the arms up. Keep the ribs down. And then inhale to take them back forward. Okay, great. So let's talk about the fourth principle now, which is the shoulders. The shoulders are very, very mobile. And I have loads of clients with problems with neck and shoulders. Obviously, they are related sometimes. And so we want to keep the stability of our shoulders. And the first thing you would do with every single exercise is to stabilize your shoulders and stabilize your pelvis before we even move. So I want to show you what I mean by that, but first let's explore some of the exercises, some of the movements that we can do with our shoulders. So firstly, let's elevate the shoulders all the way up towards our ears and then drop the shoulders down. And then again, breathe in and then lengthen the shoulders away from the ears. And then again, breathe in, lift the shoulders up towards your ears and then lower the shoulders back down away from the ears. And now I want you to feel where they should be in space. So just in the middle between those two movements, all right? And also let's explore another range of movement. I'm going to change my position so you can see. Most people where the shoulders are a bit forward, they're medially rotated. So we want to keep them open. And you want to think about the elbows pointing backwards. So even when you're standing, waiting for someone, just think about your elbows position, rotate them back. And also think about the width of the collarbones. Make sure they're open as wide as the back. So you don't want to be more open at the back of the shoulders than your front. You want to make sure they're even on both sides. So sometimes when I correct people, they immediately overcorrect and they open the shoulders too wide. So don't do that. Don't pinch your shoulder blades together. You'll find it over time where you should be in space. Try to keep even throughout both sides. Let's reach the arms forward. And now as we're going to inhale, we're going to reach the arms forward, open in between our shoulder blades. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the arms back into the shoulder sockets. Let's do it again. Inhale as you reach forward. Exhale as you glide the arms back towards the shoulder sockets. Let's reverse it now. So as we breathe in, we retract, we bring the shoulder blades together, and then we bring them back towards center. And then again, inhale as we retract the shoulder blades together, and then we bring them back to center. Keep going with this. I'm going to show you from the back so you can see better what I'm doing with my shoulder blades. As I inhale, I reach forward. And as I exhale, I bring my arms back into the shoulder sockets. And then again, inhale to reach, open between your shoulder blades. And then exhale as you take the arms back in. Make sure your chest is open and you're lengthening from the crown of the head if you're sitting and if you're standing. Again, let's squeeze the shoulder blades together now. And then open them back as you first started. And then again, inhale as you squeeze. Try not to lift the shoulders up. And then bring them back to center. Last one, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then bring them back to center. So when we first start an exercise, we'll say, let's stabilize our shoulders. And what we mean by that, we don't want them to be up our ears and we don't want them to be round forward. We want to open the front of the chest and get ready for the exercise. Okay, so let's go through the last one, which is the head and the neck, stability and placement. Again, the neck is also a very mobile and very fragile part of our body because it has so much mobility, so it can be susceptible to injuries. So we want to maintain it, we want to stabilize it before we initiate exercises, especially when we lift the head off the mat in flexion. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's lie down on our back again. And I want to teach you the head nod. The head nod is something we're going to use every single time we're going to lift the head off the floor. So lift your head up towards the ceiling. Now roll the shoulders back. Try to think about the previous principle we talked about. As we inhale, I want you to look up towards the ceiling and then drop the eye gaze towards your nose. So you lengthen the back of the neck. And then as you exhale, you're going to lift it back up again. Again, just inhale as you drop the eye gaze towards your nose. Feel like you're lengthening the back of the neck only. Don't jam your chin like that towards your chest. Just lengthen the back of the neck. And then inhale, come back up. Keep going with this a few more times. I want you just to imagine like mother cat pulling her kitten from the back of the neck. And then exhale as you come back up. One more time. Inhale, nod your chin. And then bring it back up again. So when we lift our head off the floor, we're going to start by head nodding. So we're recruiting the deep neck flexors first, and then we're going to lift the head off the floor. Okay? So this is really important for your neck and your head alignment. And then one last thing I want to show you is the neck and the head placement. So we're going to do loads of different movements here. It's going to be rotation, extension, flexion. I want you to imagine your neck and your head being in one long line with your upper back, with your upper thoracic. So when you're extending, you want to make sure it's a nice smooth curve. You don't want to break the curve, and you don't want to flex and also break the line of the curve. So imagine your spine is like a garden hose, and you want to have smooth curve for the water to flow through. If you had breaks in the garden hose, the water would not flow. So it's the same with our spine. We want to make sure the head and the neck are always aligned with our upper back. So just to finish off, let's do one exercise together before we go into other videos and other more challenging exercises. I want to show you the very basic but very important Pilates exercise, which is called the ab rep. And we're going to incorporate all of those principles together. Okay, so let's lie down on our backs together. Feet together, roll the shoulders back. So we stabilize the shoulders. Feel like you staple the back of the shoulders to the mat. Maybe rock yourself back and forward with your pelvis like we did before. Find your neutral position. So I'm imagining a very heavy tailbone, a very heavy sacrum, and there's a bit of an arch in my lower back. So this is my neutral position. I inhale to nod my chin, lengthen the back of the neck. And as I exhale, I don't overflex my neck. I think about my ribs pulling towards my hips. And I reach my fingers away and just glide them up, shoulder height, not more than that. Keep the shoulders stabilized at the back. Don't roll them forward. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, lengthen the spine all the way back down towards the floor. Let's do it again. Inhale to nod the chin. Exhale as you lift your head, lengthen the fingertips away, stabilize the shoulders. Now check yourself. Look at your tummy. Are you lifting the tailbone off the floor and your tummy is bulging up? You're overusing your hip flexors then. You need to release the tailbone down, keep a nice flat tummy, and glide the ribs. Use your core, glide the ribs towards the hips, shorten the waistline, lengthen the fingertips away, and then release back down. So I kept you there for quite a long time. Let's do it again. Breathe in. Exhale as you lift your head from the ribs towards the hips, glide and lengthen the fingertips. Take a breath in. Make sure your tailbone is heavy and that you're not lifting the tailbone off the floor. And then release all the way down. If you find it too difficult for your neck at this point, just put your hands behind your neck, behind your head, clasp your fingers, turn your elbows slightly forward, drop the head down. Inhale as you nod your chin, and as you exhale, lift the head by using your arms. Don't let the head lift. Take a breath in through the nose, and as you breathe out, lengthen slowly all the way back down towards the floor. Okay, guys, so I'm really hoping that was useful for you. You can always refer back to it. If it was too much information for you for now, that's absolutely fine.